My name is Carol Farron Shepley. I'm on the Board of Trustees of Bellefontaine Cemetery for almost 20 years, and I'm the author of Movers and Shakers, Scallywags and Suffragettes, Tales from Bellefontaine Cemetery. When I wrote my book, women's history was one of my prime goals because I think it has so often been neglected. And I'm very proud that St. Louis was a hotbed for the suffrage movement. Women in St. Louis fought long and hard to enable themselves to vote. Founded in 1867, the Women's Suffrage Association of Missouri was a center of many of their efforts. Something that I find that gives me great hope for the future is when I speak at schools, the young women are outraged that there was ever a time that women were not allowed to vote. I'm standing next to my friend, my longtime friend, Betsy Fordyce, who is the descendant of 3 generations of suffragettes. We're standing between her great-grandmother's grave and her grandmother's grave. Betsy.
Thanks, Carol. My great-grandmother, Penelope Allen Orrick, was a charter member of the women's suffrage movement that Carol referred to. She joined in 1867 because her mother, Penelope Pope Allen, co-founded the association with Virginia Minor. So in 1882, my great-grandmother, Penelope Allen Orrick, headed the organization and spoke to the Missouri Legislature demanding the right to vote for women. The answer was no. Her daughter, Christine Orrick Fordyce, my grandmother, was the president of the St. Louis League of Equal Suffrage, and in 1917 addressed the legislature of Missouri, saying, "Gentlemen, 50 years ago, my grandmother came before you asking for the enfranchisement of women. 25 years ago, my mother came to make the same request. Tonight I am asking for the ballot. Are you going to make it necessary for my daughter to appear in her turn?" Women finally got the vote in 1919, but sadly, my grandmother died of the Spanish flu just 2 months before the 19th Amendment was ratified. These 2 women dedicated their entire lives to getting women the vote, and they did succeed, but they never actually got to vote themselves.
Betsy's ancestors were among the women who petitioned the Missouri Legislature for the vote every year from 1867 to 1919. They were always unsuccessful, but as a result, Missouri had some of the most liberal laws for women in the Union. Betsy, you must be so proud of your ancestors. What do you take away from the time you've spent looking into their lives?
Well, from my research generally, I gained a few insights into the process of social change. One is how long it takes, also how much perseverance, dedication, and courage are required. Parker Palmer says it's living in the tragic gap, and that means committing yourself to a cause greater than yourself that you know will probably not be realized in your lifetime. Also, social reformers have to be able to tolerate being roundly criticized and even vilified, as Carol mentioned, by others who disagree with their views. Specifically in these women, because it was not just these 2 women, but also the 2 women who came before them and their sisters, other women in the family, their sisters, I noticed that there were certain conditions of their lives that made it possible for them to do what they did. And I want to thank Bellefontaine for allowing me to spend a few moments honoring them, because after all, these women are my heroes.
Women have always had a voice in St. Louis, even before the vote. Beyond the ballot, St. Louis and Suffrage brings their inspirational stories and groundbreaking achievements to the forefront. Discover them at the Missouri History Museum. Plan your visit at mohistory.org.